No, I'm not admitting this. It's not true. It would never be true. Not in a million years.
All right, if you're still working on the unit circle quiz, that's fine. Just set it in this folder with a purple label on it when you're done. Today, what's up, Stacey?
So like you said, what's up, Stacey? Can I go to the vending machine? The bathroom? I'm sorry, ever since I learned how to use it, yeah, I had to teach you how to use the vending machine.
That's fair, that's fair. All right. Where? Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. No, go.
I gotta wash my eyeballs out because my eyes are itchy.
All right. The microphone's been on for 3 seconds, and I got both of these cut. I'll do my best to cut it out. All right. This is what I would prefer you guys to remember. This right here on the screen will solve for all 6 of these once I show you how to use it. I think it's much easier. The other blocks that have seen this already have seemingly agreed. Jack, today we're actually going to make the leap to use our inverse notation correctly. So hopefully this will be. This is 6.2, the law of cosines. Yes, sir. Say it again. Maybe. It won't let me. What the heck? There we go. The most important thing, Peyton, thank you. I did not say this. Over on the right-hand side, on your test, there's a question that says, for which triangle congruence laws or rules, theorems, that's the word I'm looking for, can I use the law of cosines? And it's for side, 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 angle, side. If you go back to the law of sines, there's the same type of note further into the presentation that tells you when you can do them. On your test, it says, for the law of sines and cosines, which types of triangles can we use each to solve for? It's just a little checkbox, and you're going to put a check next to side, 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 angle, side, and the other 2. And then there's technically 5. If you can click all 5, that's fine, but I'm only looking for the main 4. The bad word is now allowed because we're closer to being adults, and that is an option for the law of sines going forward. Does anybody know off the top of their head which 2 triangles we can use the law of sines for? It's angle, side, angle, and angle, angle, side. 2 angles is law of sines, 2 sides is law of cosines. That's how I remember it. SSS, I have all 3 sides, and that's what we're going to start with today. One of my other blocks had a pop quiz. They actually had 2 in one day, which is very rare. So when we get to where their pop quiz was, you guys have a name your grade quiz like we do.
Is there another one?
Another name your grade quiz?
Yeah.
Yes, every time. So this is my new thing. If you guys aren't earning a pop quiz when the other class got to the pop quiz, I'm going to give you a name your grade quiz. That way, if you want a 90 or higher, you name 90 or higher. At least that way I know you're working on it together. One sheet of paper, everyone puts their grade on it, we move on. So I don't think we're going to get to 2 of them in this class today. Clea, the one in the very front. The other one's just the award certificates that I forgot to give out last year. Actually, Shrish just got his today. All right, Peyton, are we good here? All right. Maybe. Oh, wrong door. All right. So I rewrite it this way. This is the full Pythagorean theorem. You've been using a false version of it for years. And what I'm saying by that is, what's cosine of 90 on the, what's the, sorry. Cosine of 90, 90's right here at the top of the y-axis. Is 0, right? So if I have a 90-degree angle, what happens to this entire second part of this thing right here? It's completely gone. Remember when we started chapter 4, part 1? We showed that this could be And we slowly started substituting to get that into the shape of a circle. Excuse me. Right here, we have the full Pythagorean theorem. We're not going to call it that. We're going to call it the law of cosines. And the law of cosines works for non-right triangles. If you have a right triangle, go with the good old-fashioned Pythagorean theorem. If you have a non-right triangle, obtuse or acute, and it's side, 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 or side, angle, side, go with this. And the reason I like thinking of it this way is everything from here to here will always be known. If you cannot fill that part out with the information you're given or you found, then you're better off using the law of sines because you're not going to have much success here. Here, for my x's, one will be given, and one will be solved for. This x is for the angle, and the one on the left is for the side length. So if I spend the time breaking it down now, it'll make everything much more streamlined here in a minute. And the way that I'm going to decide what is my x, and we'll slowly ease into what you had on the previous screen with A, B, and C, but not all triangles are triangle ABC, not all triangles are XYZ. So I changed it to XYZ because those are not the variables on the previous slide, which would make it confusing. But here, on the outside, one thing will be known and one thing will be unknown, and those two things must always be opposite of each other. It's a lot of rules, it looks like, just to get started. And as soon as I find the clicker, we'll move on. There it is. I'll give you a minute to do this. And we'll do some problems together. Cody, if you need a pencil, I think there's one up there by the... Oh, pen. Take as many as you need. All right. If I were to progress and erase everything, would that ruin anyone's day? Assia, are you still copying this? When Assia is ready, we'll move on. Also, since I am recording today, if you go up to the board and you don't want to be on YouTube, just tell me and I'll cut you out. Don't feel like you have to. It's absolutely fine if you don't want to be on YouTube. There's no bonus for being on camera. There's no points taken away for not being on camera. It's 377 subs. You're never going to be famous on my channel. I think like 9 of them are my alternate accounts though. Trying to boost the numbers. Ooh, oh, I'm sorry, Leah. All right, so here, what kind of triangle do I have here? Do I know any of my angles? So this is a side, 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 right? I know all three sides. So I'm going to be able to use the law of cosines. I'm going to go ahead and write it out. And one thing I do like about the law of cosines is it's repetitive. It'll take you the longest amount of time to do it the first time. The next 2 times, you'll have most of the math already done. You just have to do a little bit of adding, subtracting, and dividing, but you don't have to square everything out. All right. Anybody want to take a shot at, well, actually no. Scott, do you want to find an angle A, B, or C first? All right, we're 4 for 4. Every class that says start with A. Scott, do I know what the measure of angle A is? No, but do I know what the side length opposite of A is? Yes. Yeah, it's 8, right? Or little a. So I draw this just to show that they're linked together as opposites. Was that my door? Yeah.
What's up? Hi.
All right. So here, remember, when I plug in something here, that's my angle, and I don't know it, so I'm going to retain that x. So here's my side length of 8. Scott, pick somebody to answer my next question. I promise it's not a hard one, but you can pick anybody you want. Brandon, which one's y and which one's z here? How do I know which one to pick for y and which one to pick for z? We know it's either 14 or 19. Huh? A is the one where we know already. We're using A. What side lengths? I know 14 and 19. Which one's Y? Which one's Z? Does it matter though? Why doesn't this matter right here? Which one I plug in?
Because it's our given, so it doesn't matter.
It's our given, but what if this was Y squared minus Z squared? Then it would definitely matter, right? I can add in any order. So what I like to do, and you're going to see this on the homework answer keys, most of the time, if I'm really not talking to someone else while I'm doing it, is I start with a smaller number on the left. And then here, does it matter? What if I make a mistake and now I've already said y is 14. What if I said 2 times 19 times 14? Would that mess up anything for us? Jack, why not? The multiplicative identity, it doesn't matter. So we get a lot of leeway here. And what's funny, it's what the hardest part is, every group will hear this today. I forgot the negative sign when I divided, or oops, I added one. Every group has said it. Every group seemed doubtful about it, but it's happened in every class. And that's where you are most likely going to make. Say that one more time. 8 is our side length. So that's this guy. Remember, we can only put angles. We're only going to put angles and stuff in here. That is our big X here. Let's do that. Thank you, Brandon. This is X capital. This is X lowercase. So maybe when I rewrite this for next year, I should probably pick letters that are clearly different. They're all the same for me, sir. Stacia.
Does that say X with the C beside it?
Yeah, so we know it's the capital X or the angle X.
Okay.
Do you remember I had said last class if we have...
Oh, I remember. I just can't see that well because it's like dark. Because it's like not.
You guys can turn your desk 45 degrees and
I don't
make...
think it's the desk.
It's the brightness.
It's because the projector is like on there and then it's not on there. It's okay. I like it better than
Does everybody want the lights on?
No. I like them on. It's okay.
Can you see better with the lights on?
I can't see them. I can start wearing my glasses.
All right. Glasses are a good start. All right. This is where things kind of fell apart in block 5 when I was recording because everyone was disagreeing on what things like 8 squared are. So that is 64. Will someone go ahead and get 19 squared queued up for me? So that's the one I always forget. I want to say it's...
I just added them. It's 361.
Peyton, we're definitely going to just be adding them. I want to show every little step at first, but yes. Well, let's do this guy right. That's 550.
No, that's 532 is the second, yeah, that's 532.
All right. Now, that's the easiest part of this at first until you get the hang of this. Brandon, I believe you were picked last by your peers. Brandon, pick somebody for me. Who? Kevin or Tevi? I heard a V sound. Well, I heard a cough with a V in it, so. Kevin, I think it was you. Oh, Tevi, sorry, Tevi. Brandon did. Looking here, I want to isolate my cosine of x, right? When we learn to do algebra, let's start as far away as possible. What should I do first to start simplifying this? Perfect. Peyton, can you give me that number, please?
557.
Tevi, who's going to answer the next one?
Let's go with a deal.
The deal. This is the one where everyone makes the mistake. So, I want to get cosine of x by itself, and I have that times 532, but I also have 557 minus that value. What would you move over first, the 557 or the 532? It is the 557 because it's not attached to the cosine of x, right? It's just this is bound by multiplication, so I want to move this over. What is 64 minus 557? All right, 490 is what I heard, and then I got confused.
493.
493, thank you. Equals, and then negative 532. Good deal. Pick somebody for me. Wait, but you got the easy one. I promised. I have negative 532 times cosine. How do I undo multiplication?
Division.
Perfect. So what am I going to divide by?
Negative 530.
All right. So right now, where I'm at is this.
Cos X.
Now, can I do something? Is this going to ruin anyone's day? Because it kind of does sometimes. Can I do that? Or did that ruined your day?
No, that made it.
No.
That made it better.
Right. I'm just saying I didn't have to say two negatives being divided is a positive, right? I'm just a little scared because in calc on Wednesday, I had 27 over 2 plus 12, and I just went straight to 51 over 2. They thought it was a whole new type of calculus that I hadn't taught them yet. They were all like, whoa, pump the brakes, show us how you did that magic. Adding fractions, yeah. But like, you know when you see something new and scary, the basics fall out of your mind because you're terrified? Some of us do, yeah. I just want to make sure getting rid of those negatives is fine. All right, Jack. Oh, go ahead. That is almost the answer. Jack, this is your chance to finally bring all this back around. What is the next step here, sir? I don't want to do that. I'm going to let the calculator do it. How do I get that cosine of x? How do I find that angle? This is what Jack's been dying to see, right? And I said we're going to slowly introduce it. To undo cosine, I want to do its inverse function to both sides. That's not an S. Jack, what do you want to go inside the brackets here, or the parentheses? Yeah, it should be, right? I just want to make sure we don't need these here, right? This cosine is attached to everything here. We've been doing this all year. This is what Jack was asking, and I said, Jack, can we just call it convention for now? And Jack, your words will always be stuck in my mind. What did you say? I hate convention. Right? I said for now, so we're going to get past that. Now, earlier in the year, we learned very briefly, because we had to close some gaps from Algebra 2, if I have a function and I apply its inverse to it, they cancel out, right? Or you get whatever you put in comes back out. So that means here, if I have cosine and I do inverse, I'm left with just x capital is equal to inverse cosine Jack, do you feel better now? Yes, Jack's actually smiling right now. All right. This is the proper way to handle that. When's the last time we met? Oh, geez, Wednesday? I looked at Miss Schoner and I said, how do you feel about that? And she said, horrible. This is bad. Our intern. The intern. And she was stressed out as much as Jack. So, let's put this in the calculator. Jack, pick somebody for me for my question. It's an easy one, so don't feel any pressure. Go ahead.
Take out cosine inverse 1 because like you're dividing cosine by the cosine of it. So
you're not so much dividing as you're plugging in, you're taking regular cosine and you're doing its inverse or its opposite, right? Do you remember that whole test? And I know you hated it, but where we had to find the inverse of the function. Do you remember the trick, the test, if we did it right, was to plug in a number to 1, and whatever came out of it was plug that out and see if you get the number you plugged in originally? That's what this is doing, cosine. It's taking the x out, and then it's saying whatever our fraction is what the angle is. That's how we're solving for it. So we're just undoing it. Jack, what did you pick? Rachel, I honestly forgot the question. Give me 1 second. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't it. Oh, I know what it is now. Rachel, when we go to put this in our calculator, should it be in degrees or radians? Absolutely, let's put it in degrees. This whole chapter is in degrees, and we're finishing the chapter today. I am going to talk to you about another, we're going to try a new review, another style. We're going to find what you guys like the most. This one I don't think is going to be too popular with anyone that enjoyed the last review is going to be miserable on this one, I think. But if you were miserable last time, you'll be happy with this one. So let's put this in the calculator. And I am going to move this poster to a little bit more height appropriate so I can point at it. But now I'm going to turn on my calculator, make sure I'm in degrees. This one's in radians, so ignore that. I do have the poster finally. So I'm going to hit second cosine to get my inverse cosine. And then I'm just going to do 493 divided by 532 and hit equals, and I'll get my approximate answer. This is my exact answer for the test. My approximate answer will be what comes out of the calculator. Oh, you had the answer. What was it? Who has 22.08? Peyton, Drew, Kevin, Lena. Question?
Well, I guess.
She's rounded. Okay. Yeah, that's all. What's up? Oh, yeah, go ahead. That's what I'm going to put right now, just so you can see it. There's two answers, right? There's our exact answer. And the way to remember that is whatever I put in my calculator to get it a decimal is my exact answer. So my exact answer is and my approximate was 27.08. We're going to round. I think on the test it tells you to round to the nearest tenth, but this is fine here. On your test, it's going to, what is the exact answer? It is that. Look what I did wrong. See, I got to warm up for this. An equal sign never goes there. All right. Now, we've done all of this work. That's just 1/3 of the first problem, right? Say it again? Or you're just shocked only 1/3 of the problem? That's why there's only 11 questions on your test. The first 5 are literally write this down, write this down, write this down, put a few checks, and then the next 6 are solve. And 2 of them are law of sines, 1's find the area, and then the rest are law of cosines. The last law of cosines, though, it just tells you to find one thing. So it'll be much more efficient than normal. All right, after all of that, Scott wanted angle A, we have angle A. Scott, what would you like to find next? B, all right. So we're going to do B next. After everyone tells me it's okay to erase the board. Is anyone still copying this? All right. All threes. No, there's nothing new popping up. I see where you were like shocked. All right. All right. Scott said let's go for B. Scott, pick somebody to tell me what side length is opposite of B. Yeah, that's 1/3 of the problem. Nick, what is my side length opposite of B? Yeah, we're going to be there, yeah. 19 is absolutely opposite of B. What's that? No, this is the easy stuff. This is easy. This is easy. It was easy. It's basic algebra. We don't have to go so slow this time. Let's pick up the pace. Yeah, you absolutely have the right to choose whatever you want. All right, so x lowercase is 19. And we're just doing it all over again. It's just the numbers are in a different order now. Now, I'm going to make one slight change so we can slowly get back to what you're going to... I'm going to go ahead and put angle B in here. We're going to say x capital for now is equal to angle B. So it's starting to look like what you had before. And it's easier to go back over your work and see that, oh yeah, I was looking for B there. All right. Yeah, every time. See, I told you I will mess it up. Spencer, don't say it again, but everyone sees my mistake, right?
No, I did it right on my thing.
Look it over. I absolutely did it wrong. What's in the wrong place? The second 19, right? That's what I'm solving for. I can't tie that into my thing. What should go there, guys? All right, you're already better at it than I am, so... All right, I need someone. Is this 361?
Yes.
That one never will stick in my brain.
8 squared plus 14 squared is 260.
2 what?
260.
What's this guy? Okay.
Why is it a minus sign? 220.
The minus sign is I'm just retaining this guy all the way down.
Oh, is it 260 both of them added?
Yes, Peyton is saying, and I want to show you, it's not going to take that long every time. All right. My next step is to subtract 260 from both sides. I'll handle that one.
I meant to wrong about 214.
Okay, 214 and 8, right?
8 times 14.
2 times 14.
Perfect.
Wait.
No?
All right, this is where we ran into.
Right the first time. I'm sorry. I was right the first time.
Does everyone agree with 224?
I'm sorry.
You're good, because 504 was one of the answers that came up in block 5 on the video, so
Because I accidentally put 14 times 18 times 2 instead of 8.
you fumbled it. All right. So now I have 101 is equal to negative 224 cosine B. So now I know cosine B. And this is what I was saying. You're going to start messing up with the negative sign and where it belongs. I'm dividing because I have negative 224 times something, so I'm going to divide. Now we get to do Jack's favorite part. Hopefully he... I know it's been a stressful week of watching this. Actually, a stressful month, really.
This is my favorite part. Finding the angle. I love
All right, so this is my exact answer. But look how much faster it was. We did this one in under like 3 minutes when it took us almost half an hour the first time. And now I'm going to give you probably the most upsetting news of the day on what we cannot do anymore to solve for angle C. I know most of you are already thinking it, but we don't get to go back to the geometry way. No SOHCAHTOA here. Exactly, and that's why it doesn't work. All right. Do we all have 116.8? Awesome.
So now we can't subtract
Huh?
from 180.
No, this one we can't. C is going to be different. You're going to really dislike C.
The approximate answer is 116.
Perfect. All right. If you guys could go back in time. Actually, can I make one slight adjustment to our first answer? Don't change it on your paper. We would all invest in Bitcoin, but after that, we would do this instead.
No, we would drop this.
You would what?
Just drop this.
Oh, man. I just rounded it up. Huh? Zero, 7, and we rounded it up to 8.8, and now we're going to bounce it up one more time. Just now, if you're in geometry, Brandon, how would you find angle C in geometry?
We do 180
Perfect.
minus
Will somebody give me 180 minus 116.8 minus 22.1? All right.
And you're saying that that's the answer?
No, we're not allowed to do that anymore. Because we have to give the exact answer, and that won't give us the exact answer, will it? What this will do, though, is make us feel really good if our answer is really close to 41.1 when we find the approximate answer from the exact, right? If I do all this and I get 75, I knew I messed up, and now I got to erase my last 45 minutes. If you're, because I'm requiring the exact and approximate. If I said approximate, you're golden. I actually had the foresight for once to think ahead of ways to. All right. What I want you guys to do is work on this in your groups. Call me over if you get stuck, because on the next slide is the name your grade quiz. So I want to make sure you guys are going into this confidently, and you have a minute to ask any questions. Yeah, so like you could put heavy. If you don't even want it to go in the grade book, if you want it to just say excuse, put 101, because you can't go that high.
Okay.
If you want, you've got like a C in the class, which I know you don't, but you put an 80, then it'll only bring your grade up. You pick what grade you're willing to go in. If not, I put you an excuse. If you get 100, you're going to get 100, right? I mean, with all 5 of you working together. Huh? What?
Your hair is growing back.
I know. Oh. I was worried that I was just gluing a little bit too much on each day, so it would be unnatural looking growth, but I appreciate that.
The next day, he's bald. He literally got his haircut right. It's true. He got his haircut right after he said the stress was good.
That would explain why mine grows back so fast.
You're recording this? Oh, sorry.
That's why I told Cassie not to ask about. And don't be devastated if your approximate answer isn't exactly 41.1. You should have some margin of error allowance there.
Whoa, Mr. Fibble.
What?
I got the same answer.
Exact same?
Yeah, well, no,
No, you're more accurate though, aren't you? Spencer, what did you get?
41.1238686.
Can I just call it 41.12?
Huh?
Let's just call it 41.1.
Yes, it's the same thing.
All right, so we actually did better than the other classes because they had to have a tolerance there. Our tolerance with rounding was dead on. Spencer, thanks for the level of excitement for the video. It's going to help out a lot with the 4 views. Go ahead, give him a thank you speech. I'll give you. Go for it. Brandon, do you have an exact answer? All right. Usually error means you forgot a negative sign or you added one unnecessarily. That's usually where it happens. Is your cosine 229 over 144. Your numerator is either too large or your denominator is not large enough. It's 19, not 9. I think that's what must be. Isn't that 19?
Oh, yeah.
Usually when you get denominator, it's either the negatives are wrong or your stuff's out. Spencer, you want to go up and do it? No, I was going to say number C, but you know what I'm going for, right? Spencer, are you okay with being on camera or you want me to cut you out? Don't catch it on camera just in case. Okay, you could have caught it on camera. Peyton, just give me a thumbs up if that works out. It did work? Okay. I'm left-handed as well. We're really good at blocking this view. What's up? That's terrifying, right? That's like 4 times too large. So let's look at what happened.
Oh wait, I put 9, 9. That's why I had
Aren't they both negative?
it. Wait, I messed up somewhere. Oh yeah.
I bet you more than anything that's what it is. It's those, I told you, someone's going to forget a negative sign at your group. There you go. That's all it was.
I don't know if you go. Just run with the other hand. No, Spencer, you're fine. Just explain why you're right.
Don't do that. Do this. Spencer. Spencer. Not over here, but over there. I'm giving you the clue. Right like this. It's confusing at first, but you'll get it. You got to go parallel with the board, not perpendicular to it.
Right, no sequels for the
Are you writing with your right hand?
Yes.
What's your left? That's pretty good.
Alright, so we know that.
I'm listening, sorry.
So we know that. Huh? My bad. So we know that it's 14 squared equals. So is that one?
So we're looking for angle C, and opposite of angle C is 14. And then our x and y, the order doesn't matter. I like to go.
We know that it's 8 squared. Well, we'll put 8 squared plus 19 squared minus 2, 8, 19. Let's go. And then close.
We're going diagonal.
My bad. All right, but it's either I right and I'm in front of the
Spencer, I'm telling you, it's not that bad. It's right like this. I promise you, it's not. It starts off confusing. You'll pick it. It's better than the slant.
So we know this is the equation, right? So we multiply. We know that this is. Thank you, Brandon. 196.
Tevi, have I been fooling myself all year thinking that when I write like this, you can see better? Have I been doing this to you anyways? Tell me that. I gotta come up with something useful, not. I don't want to think I'm doing good and just ruining it in a different way. Now you can't see and my handwriting's worse. I'm so sorry. We're gonna do assigned seats. I'm gonna put you over there for a while. Like your whole group. I'm gonna move you over there. Yes, ma'am. When we want an angle, yes. If we're looking for a side, no. You are welcome. I'm going to peek ahead while he does that.
We subtract 425 from 196. And it gives us 225. Or my bad. I'm so sorry. It gives us 225. And then negative 3 over 4. Cosine.
Spencer, is this a double negative situation?
Yes.
Perfect. So let's make sure we cancel on both. I'm always guilty of only canceling one.
So cancel them.
That's the best way to cancel them, so you don't have to waste my markers. I appreciate it.
And we know that since we're finding the angle, we can just use the cosine of and you put this, well, oh no.
Put the there you go. Put parentheses around the fraction.
And then you put this in your calculator like that.
And give us our exact answer over there, just so everyone has the answers together. And then we have about 11 minutes left. Do you think you guys, as your group, can knock out one of these problems?
All three. Yes.
All three?
Yeah. We can try. If we only get 2 done.
Let's do this. 2 of your answers have to be exact. You can find the third angle like we did in geometry. That way I know you know what you're doing. All right. Thank you, sir.
Not bad.
I feel like I'm trying to push.
Have you ever thought about being a pharmacist? With the glasses, you look very.
Like a pharmacist? So when I'm doing your pre-calc every day, what do I look like? A bum?
No, I'm just saying, you look like the pharmacist guy with the glasses.
Yeah, the glasses.
Everyone looks like a pharmacist with glasses.
A whole pharmacy or a pharmacist?
Pharmacist.
Oh, okay. Wait, Arian, you want to be the assistant pharmacist?
No, but his glasses are like glasses. They don't look like glasses.
They're what?
It's like stylish glasses.
Yes. I will tell my wife that she's chosen stylish glasses for me. Think. Which one? His part? Say it again?
25
No, we can't do that yet because this is 304 times cosine. We have to do this, my friend. Oh, you are reading it. Let me erase this really quick. I'll be right back. Spencer, you sound worried about finding this guy, right?
Yeah.
Remember when I write this out?
Oh, yeah.
This is my side length. Brandon, I'm not exactly sure what you said, but when I heard you say it, the entire law of cosines left my mind. Yeah. You're good. So 91 is opposite of B, so my angle goes in here, and now this will be my unknown, and then this one's nice because I just fill in everything and I can slap it right in the calculator with a square root on it. All right, Stacy, where are we at? Do you have your calculator, or do you want to borrow mine to see if you got it in it? Yeah, let me go find it and I'll bring it back to you.
Because we're giving everything. You just gotta make
I'm the first person to use our brand new calculators and I lost them.
Oh, well, I did secret all by myself.
You did what?
I did see all correct.
Did you say you were surprised?
Yeah, I did. Like,
But it's already up there.
All right.
We've been finding the sides.
I've worked with Pearl, I've worked with Calvin, I've worked with you.
So the angel's already
I've worked with Pearl, Are you always the strongest in math, or is it just this class is working out for you?
this class is working out.
Okay.
Pearl is like a really hard worker.
Oh, that's one of my favorite parts about Pearl.
Great. She's like always.
Pearl will never stop working until she knows she's
Cal's
done.
exactly opposite, where like you'll put in very minimum effort and then get very minimum results. And then I'm just like,
Like, you just maxed your luck and just roll with it. I've always wanted to try like a luck charisma build in a game, but like I just want to shoot things or bash them to the ground, so I never end up doing that. Yes, so now instead of having the x or the unknown inside cosine, remember there's two things. The x, where's your formula? So I can point at it so we don't go confusing.
No clue.
Did you do this?
I did
I know
not
you
do
didn't.
that.
I know you didn't. You didn't write it down?
I did, but
Can you show me where you were?
it's ugly because I was doing it in a
Oh,
rush because
this is old stuff. Where's your new stuff? Where's today's stuff?
right here.
Here's
This
Fimble's
is
form. Oh, here it is, right here.
This is why I wrote.
So earlier we were doing cosine x, right? And we were looking for an angle, so we left the x there. What are we looking for this time?
a side. So
And that x stays x. Then we plug in all of our information here.
but we're just finding
And
this
then-
instead.
Yep, so we'll calculate all of this, take the square root of it, and that'll give us our side length. Could who? Side B better be a decimal, absolutely.
13.8.
That sounds right, yeah. Who's getting 13.8 for B?
You're like, you can't do that.
Let's see where you're at. Yeah, you do it. Yeah, if this is what all that adds up to, you plug it exactly that, and you take the square root of, well, you do x squared, so take the square root of this and just plug it right in the calculator. Is your answer really that small? Oh, yeah. So do 193 minus 168 times cosine 91. Hit equals. Yeah, and now watch this. If you hit second for the radical, so you can get square root. Now, you're not going to want to type all that in, and you don't want to truncate it. So hit second and then the negative sign, and it'll take whatever your last answer was and put it in for you, so you don't have to type it. Now you're getting 14. They're saying 13. 13.9.
Not putting the whole equation in.
Did you round?
No, I didn't, but they might be rounding.
So you have 196.
Let's see if I round. Oh, no, I didn't. Go back. If I do.
That makes sense. 13.99. I got you.
How did you get 13? That's so weird.
193. Yeah. What did you type into your?
You might have typed one.
I didn't. I took the exact answer.
The only thing.
Yeah, you put 196 is 193.
Hey, we both missed that. I probably did. At least we know it's on tape, so you can just comment that I was wrong. What's up, Scott?
For trying to get like the side.
Are you on?
Who's taking it?
So that one. So that says b squared, right?
I mixed
Because that's what it says. B squared on the outside.
You live like a million
And then-
miles away. Hell no.
Add these together,
This is the finals,
and you get like what do you get?
What time
193.
does it start?
7.
So 193 minus
I
168,
may go.
but don't hit equals yet. Times cosine 91
Spencer, are you
equals.
playing?
And now what do you have? Perfect. So now you're gonna hit second. Oh no, bring the square root up. Yeah, it is. I don't know where the square root on this calculator.
I didn't mean it like that.
Oh yeah. So second
I didn't say
x
that.
squared, and then second,
He said, "Look at Spencer,
and then
how could
hit
he
this
play?"
button.
No, that is not what I
And
said.
it brings you now hit equals.
Spencer, I did not. I did not say that. I did
And
not.
that's how we do it.
No, I didn't say that.
He just roasted Spencer. That's
No,
I'll be right there, Henry.
not say that.
The exact is the square root of all of this is exact, and that's your approximate. It rounds up to 13.98. Yeah.
You did say it.
Stacy's also.
Yeah.
Which one?